In St. Louis, it is that time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast, where today we're talking about the one subject that my wife is super excited that we're doing, how to communicate as a couple, right? It is going down today. I'm going to learn today how to better communicate with my wife. And if you have a significant someone in your life, this is the show for you because I can almost guarantee you can stand to get a little bit better in your communication techniques. And we're going to give you 10 techniques to help you communicate better. So do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen.
Smash it.
Let's kick it.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I am your host, Cortez Hustle. That's my girl, Michelle. Hey. And today, we're coming to you live and direct from the Instant Authority Blueprint Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. If you are a coach, consultant, speaker, trainer, online entrepreneur, or influencer, and you want to add some authority to your brand, there's no better, easier, and faster way to do it than to become a published author. Let my team help you put together your first book project. All you got to do is go to workwithcortez.com/publish. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next 9 people, because I got somebody enrolled yesterday, in honor of Black Business Month, I want to let 9 people go through this program for free, right? You're getting my coaching for free. There's a few things that you do have to pay for, like your ISBN number and some of those types of things. But I'm going to coach you through the self-publishing process free of charge. So go to workwithcortez.com/publish and let's add some authority to your brand. So, Chalet,
Hey,
how's your weekend, sis?
before we go there, you just like free of charge, and you just made me think of something. You need a slogan. I got you. You said that, I was like, free of charge, free of charge. Thank God Almighty. Free of charge. I'm just saying. You can take that thing to the mountaintop. That's what you can do, bro. Take it to the mountaintop.
Free of charge. Thank God Almighty. Free of charge.
It'll work. That thing will fly. Okay, I'm just saying. Woo! My weekend. I survived the baby shower.
Woo!
Yes, I survived it with a.
You that know, Michelle is about to become a grandma for the first time.
Very first time. Yes, I survived because I didn't think I was. I said, Lord, please don't let it be no bloodshed. It was. Oh, see, everybody that was involved with the baby shower. My daughter, my youngest daughter, is bringing forth my first grandchild. Her other sisters, my other daughter, my oldest, and then her sister on her dad's side, they planned it. And I think they knew. See, they was up all night doing her, fluffing and buffing and doing all kind of stuff. So anybody had no sleep, especially pregnant mama. They left me there to bring her to the shindig. I should have knew it was a setup. I should have knew. I'm like, what? Where everybody going? I gotta bring her. Yeah, you bring her. We're gonna go set up. But okay, man. When that door closed, she turned around and looked at me. Was like, I don't know what's wrong. I was like, oh, I'm scared. Man, this started at 1:30. At 10 after 2, I was like, you know, it started at 1:30. We're already late. And then the fight was on. Bing, ding, ding. It was But we made it. She was beautiful. I don't know, for some reason she looked even more pregnant that day. I was just like, wow, where did that come from? So, but it was great. It was a great time. Baby daddy wasn't musty. It was a whole lot of wonderful things that happened.
Baby glow on fleek, like
on fleek. She just exploded into the park, you know. And again, baby daddy wasn't musty. So you know, some people show up musty to events, and I'll be like, no, there was something in that area, but he didn't, and I was proud of him. Proud of you, son. No must. All right, so that was the weekend. Ta-da.
All right.
Ta-da.
It's an abrupt cutoff. Well, all right.
Boom, there it is. I didn't know where we was going after that. That was my weekend. I couldn't take no more.
All right. What you guys down to do about this pandemic, this Delta 9 strain, these COVID? You know, we had stopped watching this stuff, and now we all eyes on deck with the COVID watch. So what you got for us?
Man, okay. A couple things. I'm gonna try to make it super quick because I got something exciting to say about it, right? Only because I think I'm affected. Not affected. No, not infected. Affected by what? Okay, listen. All right. So I was pulling some numbers, and it says I found out overall only about 42% of St. Louisans have not, or Missourians have not been vaccinated, you know, which means 57% have. So that's kind of good. We're past the halfway mark. Let's see, about 48% have not been vaccinated in Illinois. So they are a little lower than us. So we winning high. Okay, so this is the one thing that kind of got my attention. ICU capacity in St. Louis, they have 17% open space in ICU here in Missouri, which means that 83% of their ICU is full. That's too much. Like this thing is still there and it's still real. Quick note, when I was at the baby shower, my cousin, shout out to my cousin LaDonna, I love her so much. She said she had her mask on the whole time. She said, "Chill, ain't nobody gonna put no mask on. They don't wear masks no more." Huh? I was like, cuz was like, y'all can kiss my with you. Hey, she stayed strapped up. I don't even know how she got the mac and cheese through the mask, but somehow she enjoyed her mac and cheese.
So she team governor. She team governor.
Man, you're all the way.
No, she team mayor to Sharp.
Yeah.
Right? The mayor is like, we back to mask mandate. The governor's like, no, you're undermining the vaccination. People should not have to wear. So
it's still out there. So she was committed. I give her that. She was committed, and she gonna be the only one sitting up saying, where everybody else like, no, so she was good. So the one thing I did want to say, I was stumbling and bumbling around. I ain't know. Y'all got to tell me stuff. They give away money for people who get vaccinated. What you say? $10,000. And here's the thing. They teamed up. So I guess the Missouri Department of Health teamed up with the Missouri Lottery. What? Shut your mouth. And they are giving away $10,000. They're doing 4 separate drawings, but they're giving away $10,000 to 80 different people. Right? They're going to draw names randomly from people who have been vaccinated with at least one. You ain't even got to have them both. If you have at least half of the vaccination that enters you, you go to the site, you sign up or whatever, register to win. But there are so many chances to win a part of this 10,000. I figured since I already went out there and got it, I might as well try to get paid.
Might as well go enter. Might as well.
Might as well. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from lotto money. So that encouraged my daddy, who was like, I ain't getting the shot. My daddy was like, I ain't getting there with one. My daddy do anything with the lotto. Oh, the lotto give it away money. What's that?
How much online? Oh,
my daddy was ready. He was ready. So just something to think about. Again, you still don't have to do it, but it's something to consider. If you need 10 stacks in your pocket, I could use 10 stacks in my pocket. So
there it is. Love it. All right. Y'all know what time it is, man. It is time for Michelle's Australian boyfriend to introduce the Chalet word of the day. So let's get to it.
And now the Michelle word of the day.
What's up, party people? It's time for Michelle a word of the day. Now, today's word, this is what I do when I'm thinking. Today's word or my phrase for the day is going to be fly, butterfly, fly. Okay. So if you ever think about the life of a caterpillar, right? We all know about the metamorphosis process. But if you think about that in comparison to your life, right? Where are you going? What are you doing? Et cetera, et cetera. You think about the life of a caterpillar, right? Then the little yucky bugs crawl along the ground, whatever, they eat leaves and they crawl over stuff and they look real ugly when they're on the ground, right? And they do basic things when they're on the ground. What do they do when they're on the ground? They crawl. And that's pretty much it, right? So when you think about your life, you walk around, you do whatever it is you do, and maybe you're living like a basic kind of life. And that's okay if that's cool for you, right? But there are some of us that wish to kind of go higher, do more. And there'll always be a time for process, or always be a time for that caterpillar to become a butterfly, right? And in that transition, things have to happen, right? What happens that caterpillar that goes into a cocoon, and that's synonymous of, maybe you're in a waiting period, maybe you're in a period of training and God is working on you before you go to your next level. Maybe you feel like, man, I've been stuck in this one particular place and I'm not moving right now. Like, what's going on? You might be like, Lord, what's going on? Sometimes I do that, right? But the whole point is, when we're in the cocoon, that is the time when we should be working on ourselves, bettering whatever skill or purpose or training that we are in, or whatever gifts we feel like we have. That's the time to be working on those things, right? So that when we do emerge from that cocoon, that we are able to fly. When you think about that part right where the caterpillar comes out of the cocoon and becomes a butterfly, it breaks through that skin. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know the life of a caterpillar. I ain't quite there yet. However, I would imagine when they break through, does it hurt? Does it feel kind of stiff? You can imagine coming out of something. It might feel a little weird, a little strange, might even be a little bit of pain involved. So whatever you're going through, if you're in your waiting season, if you're in your training season, just know when you break through, it might be a little hard when you do it, but you got it. Like, you got to do it, right? The caterpillar has to come out of the cocoon. So once you become the butterfly, you take flight. And when you think about the comparison, there are some things that a butterfly can do that a caterpillar can't. The butterfly flies over all the things that the caterpillar was walking on, right? So when you transcend to that next level, flight is possible, is necessary. But if you don't do the necessary part to get from the caterpillar stage to the butterfly stage, it won't happen. If you don't take necessary risks or steps when you're a caterpillar, if you only do the minimal, the only thing you're going to do is become a better caterpillar. You'll never make it to the cocoon, and you'll never get off the ground. I'd rather have aerial vision I'd rather look from the air down than from the ground up. So my encouragement to you today, people, is don't be afraid. Do what you need to do as a caterpillar, but don't be afraid to go through that process. Don't be afraid to transform. Do what's necessary. Do the process. Take on the process so that you can become a butterfly. Michelle A. This is Michelle A. Word of the day.
Love it, love it, love it. Y'all give it up for Michelle A. and her word of the day. Transformation, ladies and gentlemen. God, evolution is inevitable, right? Even when you're trying not to, you still evolving. What are you evolving into? Is the question. We're talking communicate with your mate today. How do you communicate with your significant other? It's about to go all the way down, but before it goes down, I gotta let y'all know what's going down in the loo. So guys, this is a hack for those of you who want to get out and about this weekend. All you gotta do is go to Google and type in this weekend in St. Louis.
Shut your mouth.
And it gives you everything. Festival of Nations is going on this weekend. Susto, Live in the Sky, St. Louis this weekend. I don't know what that is. Al Fresco. I don't know what that is either. But you know who's having a tribute this weekend? Tennessee Williams tribute.
What?
The Moon and Beyond. Afro-lituation.
You know what? That's not what we're doing.
Afro-lituation. It's Afro-lituation.
Is that what it is?
It is Afro-lituation. It's going down in St. Louis, right?
I can go.
You lied to me about Centralia.
What?
That's Tennessee Williams Department, right? So something that's part of that walking tour, right? It's going down. St. Louis VIP Princess Party. Huh, interesting, interesting. Eden, a day in the garden party. That's over at Forest Park. 5595 Grand Drive. Let's see what else they got. They got a family fundraiser, character cruise down at the Gateway Arts this weekend, 11 and 1 p.m. on Saturday. Musical nights going down in Clayton, Missouri. Okay. Super Jam at Festival of the Little Hills and Frontier Park. That's in St. Charles. So there's a lot of stuff going on in St. Louis, but I gotta give some love to Montana of 300 in St. Louis at Club Climax. It's going down. Right?
That's the ambassador.
Looks like a hip hop artist. That's why.
Yeah. I gotta say something.
Yeah.
One more time. Okay. Hey, guess what's back? Now I'm a little early for this, so we're gonna shout it out when we get closer to the time. But I was so excited. I saw it online. The Forest Park musical event that we all know and love is back. You remember it as Twilight Tuesday in the park. It has now become Twilight Thursday, and they are going to be starting that again, which I absolutely love because you know I love live music. They're going to be starting that back September the 9th, and it will move from Tuesday to Thursday, so it'll be Twilight Thursdays. And I am super excited. If you've never been to a Twilight Tuesday, people, I am telling you, you go out there with your blanket and your chairs. And when I say it's a big old love fest of St. Louis, whew, see that? Just got all tingly inside. It's a love fest. Great bands, but people are harmonious. You got the motorcycle riders out there. You got the car people out there. You got black, white, Asian, Indian. Everybody is there. And the times I've been, unless I just am a nerd and leave early, I've seen no drama. I've seen no fights. I've seen no foolishness. It's an amazing, wonderful thing. September 9th, Twilight Thursday, Forest Park. Boom. It is.
It's a growing sexy thing. So
it is. I love it.
The Thundercats don't show up. Those Thundercats that do show up, they actually show up in their Sunday best, trying not to look like Thundercats, which is super cool because, again, that goes back to evolution. They're trying to evolve. They're trying to be like, hey, man, I'm through with this. Me and my lady, we just out chilling. We don't want no smoke. But the Thundercat is still in them. So if you bring the smoke their way, trust and believe. It will catch fire quick.
They'll try to be a Thunder Lion. They don't want to be Thundercats. They will be lions. Right. So
awesome. So lots of stuff going on in St. Louis. Shakespeare Festival at Shoto Park is going down at 11 p.m. Okay, so they gonna kick it in the middle of the night at Shoto Park. All right, I got you.
On Shoto,
lots and lots of stuff, man.
Who's doing that on Shoto?
Man, Shoto Park.
Who's gonna be there 11:30 at night?
Yeah,
I hope they got security.
It's going down.
I watch it on the TV.
So lots of good stuff. Not a whole lot of our events listed, right? I mean, our events targeted towards the Black community here in St. Louis. Not because this is a racist publication, but because we oftentimes don't know marketing and media and how to get our events listed on stuff like this. So y'all need to step up your game, St. Louis, so that when people are searching for cool things to do in St. Louis, they know about your events.
Absolutely.
Too. All right, Chalet.
Man.
Topic for the day.
Let's do this. I'm ready. We finna do this. We finna talk about how to communicate with your peoples.
Yes.
Well, shout out to Lee. We're gonna get together, girl. We finna get this guy together. He finna come out and talk your ear off. You're gonna be like, look, stand down. I don't want anymore. Cut me off. Bartender, I'm tapped out.
Look, you asked for this. So you get all of this 25 years worth of conversation that you say I've been holding back. Here it is, like a drink of water with a fire hose. Here we go.
Right. I wanted it one night. Oh no, you take this. Take it. Take it.
I'm gonna get it all off my chest today, and I ain't gonna say nothing else for another 25 years. Let's go.
That is ridiculous. Oh man, so I can kick us off. Communication is a cornerstone of any relationship. The quality of any relationship is no greater than the quality of the communication. Increasing the quality of the communication within your relationship might be the best way to enhance it. Hint, hint. So we are going to cover these top 10 ways to enhance your communication.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump out the boat with number one because I've done this before and I'm gonna get it together. So number one is focus on the specific behavior rather than the person. Address the other person's behavior or words. It's much more agreeable when some people say, it hurts my feelings when you don't listen to me, instead of, why you gotta be so rude all the time? Cortez, dang, why you gotta be so rude? I don't like it when you hurt my feelings. It hurts my feelings when you rude as hell. Yeah, just so all of how you say it. The behavior, don't focus on, or focus on the behavior, not the person. So there you go. That's number one.
Gotcha. I'm actually trying to share the show in a group real quick.
Okay, no, go ahead. So let me hit these other points then. While you're doing that, let me hit these other points. When you attack the other person, they become defensive. What? I ain't doing nothing. Oh, I hate defensive people. Anyway, when people are defensive, unproductive, fighting, and arguments are a common result. You're interested in changing the other person's behavior. You can't change who they are, but just focus on the behavior.
Yeah.
So again, don't challenge the person. You back them into a corner, and the average person is going to get defensive. It is hard to get a person to become accountable when you are attacking them. You know what I'm saying? But if you find a way to communicate, I don't like it when you say you're going to be there and you're not. It affects me in a negative way. Instead of, you don't never do what you're supposed to do because you don't never be where you're supposed to be. Dang, that's not productive. It's not going to yield good fruit. So don't do that. Behavior, not the person.
And when you tell somebody how you feel, it's hard to dispute that, because I can't tell you how you feel, Michelle.
That's it.
If you tell me, hey man, you being late make me feel like I was unimportant.
That's
like
it.
You put me on the back burner. Sorry, sugar. Like you put me on the back burner. And so I can't argue back and say, you don't feel like that. Like,
oh, some people try. There are some jokers out there who like, I'm sorry you feel like that.
Like no, what you ain't sorry I feel like it. What you're trying to do is tell me that ain't how I really feel. And
right.
It's crazy. But number two, this actually goes into number one. You gotta find the right time.
Yep.
Gotta find the right time. And you know what's not the right time? In front of everybody. I tell you that. That ain't the time or the place. In public, fighting, scratching, clawing, pulling there and all that. That probably y'all probably could have waited. Like you know how you get you sometimes you're on your way home and you stop at the gas station right around the corner from the house. That ain't the good time. Y'all got like 2 minutes and y'all be in the private quarters of your own deal. But sometimes it explodes it, right? If your partner comes home from work and slams the door, it might not be the best time to share your displeasure over the dirty dishes in the sink. Pick a time when everyone is calm and there are few distractions, right? So picking a time to communicate and to have the tough conversations is an art in and of itself. As is having the tough conversation is an art.
Absolutely.
But also part of that art is picking the right time to have that battle.
Absolutely. You know what? And here's the thing, Cortez, this transcends not just in your romantic relationships, but this is for any relationship. These most of these tips can go or float or transcend, that's the word. Will go with any relationship. With my daughters, with my baby girl, when she was having a spaz attack on me before the baby shower, I had to pick and choose the moments, with her, because sometimes we can be oil and water. Love you, Kai. We can be oil and water. There are times where I know I need to bring something to her, but I know if I do it in the wrong moment, she will be defensive. So a lot of times I wait till we're laughing, joking, having a really good mommy-daughter day, and then I'll spring some stuff on her. And I do lead with, you know what? I don't like it when you do XYZ, or it makes me feel such and such. And we have better conversations then. But if I catch her when she's on 7 on her way to 10, we knock down, drag them out, baby, every time. Every time.
Yeah,
pick a time.
I'm gonna go from 0 to 100 because you were already on 7, in which I knew that. Yeah. But I'm gonna try to slide this on in because this might be the only time I see you today. And
there it is.
Because not only is you're not gonna see me for the rest of the day, this is the same reason that you ain't seen me in a couple weeks. Yep. Is because the last time we saw each other.
Yep.
You did this.
Absolutely. It all works. I mean, it's reasonable and it's logical. So number 3, be clear and assertive. People, say what you mean and mean what you say. These people. You got to be direct. It's unfair and unproductive to expect others to read your mind. I ain't a mind reader. I'm not. Okay. Got a lot of forehead, but I don't read minds. Be bold enough to be open. Your happiness is as much your responsibility as it is anyone else's. Let your partner know how they can fulfill your needs. If something is bothering you, share that information. If I could say one thing about that particular topic, is just be direct. Some people you can't see. I think sometimes we hold people to the same regard of which we hold ourselves, right? If someone came to me and they said, gosh, we could have got started earlier with XYZ, how we gonna do that next time? I would interpret that as saying, you know what, maybe I was late and next time I need to be on time. But not everybody picks it up. Some people you need to be direct and say, you were not on time, which caused us to start late, and I have an issue with that. You can't insinuate, because if you drop that and say, oh man, we could get started earlier, that person might be hearing crickets in their head while you're talking, and they don't pick up that it's you that's the problem. You know, they don't pick up that it's themselves. And then they're sitting back like, you never told me that being late was affecting what we're doing, when you could have been direct. So I would say that's so key, to be clear, assertive. It's not on here, but be direct when you communicate.
Yeah. And being direct don't mean being argumentative, right? Some people see being assertive as aggressive. No, it's just direct. I just want to tell you exactly what it is. And here's the difference. If you end your assertive or your direct comment with "or else," now you're being aggressive.
Now you got an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're being aggressive.
You better do it. Can't use the word better in there. Better ain't a good fit in that sentence. It doesn't mean improvement. It means if you don't, it's going to be some head busting.
You bet not.
Bet not. Yeah, don't do it.
Not good. No. Number 4, be willing to compromise.
There it is.
Right? Life itself is one huge negotiation.
Yes, it is.
Period. Everything is negotiable. So when you are assertive and you are direct, you pick the right time, you focus on the other person's behavior. Now comes time where you might have to be willing to compromise. Hey, listen, you don't like me being tardy, but I told you before we started this project that it actually dovetailed into the end of something else, and I'm going to try my best to be here. What can we do? Okay, well, I will push your part of the presentation to the 30-minute mark. So now you're not running in hot trying to present, right? So we're going to build this compromise based on us saying what it is. But if you started this project and you didn't tell me that you had a previous engagement that ended right as this one was starting, I don't know why you're late. I'm just saying, Jigga, listen, this is the third time you done showed up late. So I'm not willing to compromise at that point. But if we have this dialogue and we put all of our cards on the table, now I can determine whether you're worth, or what you bring into the project is worth us dealing with a little bit of tardiness, because we both agreed that you have a legitimate reason as to why you are behaving in said manner that's pissing me off.
Right. You hear me? You know what? Just real quick, I want to piggyback on that, Cortez. Has this ever happened to you? You're in a situation and you say, okay, I'm going to compromise. I know that I'm going to give and we should in theory both give. So you jump out the boat and you say, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna do this in order to compromise. And the other person sitting there like,
yeah.
And they don't compromise back. You're like, what?
Yeah.
You got to be willing to do the right thing, even if the other person doesn't meet you there in the beginning, right? And then you just have to kind of not keep track of it, but be willing to compromise for yourself to make the situation better, and understand that the other person may not get it right out the gate. Now, if you're doing all the compromising and they just never step up, then you might want to think about the prolonging or continuing that relationship. You got some thinking to do. But you cannot expect reciprocity right out the gate. And I think that sometimes what jack people up is they expect people to think again like they think. I'm gonna do it, so they should do it. That's not the way life works.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do that, but often they don't.
Because that can't be your motive for doing
Absolutely. There it is.
I can't be doing it to get you to do it. No.
And a lot of times we do that
this way because this is who I am. It got nothing to do with you.
Absolutely.
Now, if you were like me, then you would throw me a nugget back and boom, we move on.
Right.
But that cannot be my sole motivation because that's manipulation. I'm going to do this. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to get them to do that.
Right.
So I'm trying to manipulate them.
Yep. Absolutely.
And no, listen, I'm going to be honest with you because I'm an honest person. Not because I'm trying to manipulate you into being truthful. Because you just might be a heathen from Gehenna.
You hear me? Right. Seriously. And you know what? I'm glad you put a name to that. But most people do the action and don't know that's what they're doing. You know, because if you ask the average person, are you manipulative? No, not me. Oh, no, I love the Lord. He heard my cry. I'm not like that. No. If you do things expecting for somebody to do it back, or you're doing it so you can motivate somebody to do something, which tell the truth, for shame the devil. Unfortunately, I've been there. Unknowingly, stop it. Cut it out, people, because that is manipulation. It's manipulation at its best. So, number 5, and I think we probably might need to take a break. I think.
Yeah, let's hit number 5, and then we'll take a quick break.
Perfect. Consider the other person's point of view. Strive to be empathetic. Take a walk in the other person's shoes. You might realize that you're being unreasonable. If you make it a habit of considering someone else's feelings, that's how you get into what we just left, you know, compromising or just being a person that just, I understand and I'm not going to do it to get you to do something else. I'm a person naturally that when I make actions and moves, I try to think of the other person. I'm naturally an empathetic person. So sometimes people have to work at that. Not everyone has that skill that's sharp. I think it's in everyone, but not everyone has it defined. And sometimes you got to work at empathy.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. So, but you got to do it.
Yeah, and it's like practicing. I heard on the Cortez Hustle show, I do something called 1 Minute Motivation because I listen to motivational stuff all the time. And let me see if I can get my notes here from yesterday because there's a big word in here that I got to hit y'all with. And we don't realize this, but this is what happens when you practice, right? The guy says, when you focus on something, right? And we're talking about people who we've all got the muscle of empathy, but if you don't exercise it, you don't focus and practice it, then just like with anything, you use it or you lose it, right? That muscle atrophies, right? So he said, when you focus and you execute on one particular thing over and over and over. Now we see this in our athletes and our entertainers, right? I watched like as when Destiny Child first came out, I was like, Beyonce can't sing that good. But I then heard Halo 10 years later when she did a lot of acapella singing in that song. I was like, oh man, why? Because she had been working and working and working. And he said, what happens is your brain creates something called an oligodendrocyte, right? It's a new neural connection for that particular activity. So if you were focusing on your empathy, right, your brain will create a new neural connection just for empathy. And the more you do it, then it starts to create what's called a myelin sheath around it. It starts to insulate that neural connection. And that myelin sheath allows for faster transference of information. So you're quicker, you're wittier, you can make decisions. Think about a football player.
Okay.
At the highest level,
I like football players.
Professional football player is literally making hundreds of calculations in a split second. How can they do that?
Right.
It's because of their focus on their craft. They created these neural connections that are surrounded with this myelin sheath. So if you practice that in any area of your life, empathy, compassion, your ability to speak, your craft, whatever it is, if you're doing that, you are literally building a superpower of your own. And I had no idea why that was the case physiologically. We know that they say practice makes perfect, or some people say practice makes permanent, but that's what's happening in the brain to make that thing permanent. Steph Curry can shoot a three-pointer in his sleep with perfect form. Why? Because he shot 1,800,000 three-pointers this year alone, and that's why. So you got to practice things like empathy and develop certain character traits as superpowers, and you literally reconfigure your brain when you do those things. So I thought that was just pretty dope to understand the physiology in the brain that takes place from disciplined, focused, and practice on a particular area in your life. But we got to take a quick break. We got 5 more of these communications tips and strategies for you, but I want you guys to know about my perfect money plan. So let's check it out.
Hey, good morning, wealth champions. Hey, listen, if you want to be financially successful, then you have to do what financially successful people do. And I know there's a few things that all wealthy people have in common. Number one, they understand that building wealth is a team sport. Number two, they understand the power of capitalism and business enterprise. Number three, they love to use systems and leverage. And number four, they all have mentors. My name is H. Cortez, also known as Financial Health Mentor. And for the last 5 years, I've been helping hardworking Americans get all of these things in place with one single membership. If you want to learn more about that, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. Again, that's myperfectmoneyplan.com. And you're going to get a team of professionals, so you're not building wealth by yourself. You're going to get a system that's going to help you transform your finances. And last but not least, you're going to get some great mentorship to help you execute your game plan. So again, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm Cortez Hustle. That's Michelle A. And we are live and direct from the My Perfect Money Plan studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. And we're talking communication with your significant other, but like Michelle said, these transcend into relationships in general. But if you are in an intimate, long-term, permanent relationship, right? I'm talking about the Oleodendra site, right? I'll tell you, I need to start creating those in my brain right now when it comes to communicating with my significant other, because one of the things that she says all the time, Michelle, is she wants to know when I'm mad, right? You can't keep walking around her like nothing ever bothers you, right? And she's got reason to, because when I lost my mind in 1999 to 2000, it was an implosion from a lot of things that I carried from my youth. And she's afraid that that's what I'm doing. So now she's like, okay, from age 0 to age 22, it's kind of like when the implosion starts happening. We've been together for 24 years. So she's like, okay, from 22 to 47, it's now about time for another. And I'm like, no, babe, I'm good. I mean, nothing really bothers me in that way. I found other ways to release those things. And she's like, why you never tell me? Because it didn't last long enough for me to tell you. Like, I literally will be upset for 30 to maybe 90 seconds. And I'm moving on, Michelle. Listen, the last thing I am ever going to do is allow someone or something else steal my joy and wreck my day, wreck my time, wreck.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that joker cut me off, man. Would you look at this? And that's about all the energy that I have for that.
Yeah.
Some people will go into the office talking about, man, let me tell y'all what happened on these doggone highways and byways this morning. And they talking about it. Then at lunchtime, they're talking about it. Man, this morning when I was on my way to work, let me tell you about what happened to this joker. Then in their car on their way home, they get in the car and they're thinking, if I see another one of those jokers, so all day long,
on site,
all day long, you've been jacked up in your head because somebody made an irresponsible move because of them, not because of you. It wasn't personal. They wasn't trying. No, it was like, hey, man, I got to get over. Sorry, not sorry, whatever the case is. But you don't let that wreck your whole day. Anybody got time for that, Michelle? Anybody got time for that?
Part of the day.
Really quickly, let me recap the first 5, and then we're gonna let Michelle jump in with number 6. We talked about number 1, focus on the specific behavior rather than the person, right? You know what that one reminds me of, Michelle?
What?
Is when
what that is.
You address somebody and they know they're wrong. So the first thing that comes to their mouth in their defense, you can't beat my ass though. What?
Yes, I can. Nah,
like
come back on them. Yes, I can.
That's so funny to me. It's like,
you can't whoop
bro,
me.
you was in the wrong. Hey, but you can't whoop me. Wait, now
this is not about me whooping you, or is
or should it nothing to do with nothing, right? Right, but they got to usurp and take control of the conversation. So focus on the other person's behavior, not the person, right? Number 2, find the right time. Timing is everything. If you don't believe me, read Ecclesiastic. There's a time for everything.
Come on, preach up.
Time for everything, right? Number 3, be clear and assertive. This is where finding the right time also benefits you because you might just want to sit down and write out a couple of your thoughts and like, hey, here's 3 points that I got to get across so that I don't forget them. Let me make sure that I deliver them directly. So find the right time, use that time to actually get clear on your directives or what you want to see happen and what you're trying to communicate. Number 4, be willing to compromise. Guys, everything is not as black and white as it seems. Sometimes there's a little gray and we might have to meet in the middle. Number 5, consider the other person's point of view. Strive to be empathetic, man. There's nothing, and that's one of the reasons, Michelle, that nothing upsets me.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because I get in other people's shoes. That joker cut me off. You know what I say instantly? Man, his baby mama is in the car. She's in labor right now. There's a reason that he had to go from the far left lane all the way over to the exit lane right then, because there's something going on that I'm not privy to. So I can't fault that man. If my wife was given in labor pains and I almost missed the exit, I'm probably gonna make the same move. So I don't get upset, right?
You created a whole situation.
I created a whole narrative to justify why this joker knew when he left the house he needed to be off exit 19, and why you in the far left lane. See, that's the other narrative that people who get upset create.
That's the natural narrative.
When he left the house, he's supposed to be off on exit 19. Why is he flying in the left lane? Right. I created a whole opposite narrative.
You know what? We're super quick. Well, I remember years ago, when I worked in hospitality, there was a guy that I used to work with, Ron Andrews. And this guy he was an ass. He knew he was an ass. He said it. I'm an ass. So he was a bellman. So he would drive people. I worked at the airport Marriott. So it's really, really busy with business people all the time. And he was a shuttle driver that would take people from the hotel to the airport or whatever. So he's got this guy down in the lobby, rushed down there. He's like, hey, guy, what time's the shuttle leave? They left on a particular schedule, every 15 minutes, etc. He comes down there, hurry. Hey, guy, where you leaving? I got to get to the airport. And he turns around, Ron, with his cup of coffee in his hand. Oh, you need to go now? Oh, yeah, we don't leave for another 15 minutes. But I need to get there now. He goes, oh, you should have got up earlier. There, at the end of the day, that person that cut you off in traffic, most of us think, you'll cut me off. You want to hurry. Get up 5 minutes earlier. You ain't got to do that next time. Causing an accident, causing other people to swerve and do all kinds of stuff. I just spilled my drink on me fooling with you this morning because you hit snooze.
Right.
Yeah.
But watch this. Watch this. See, everything is my fault, Michelle.
Oh,
everything.
You just said it. You justify things.
Everything is my fault. So yeah, he cut me off. I spilled my drink on the highway because he's trying to get from the left lane to another exit. You know what? I should have got up earlier so I could have taken the back street.
I wish we had sound effects. We need crickets right now.
Everything is my fault, Michelle.
Absolutely.
And when we get to that place, like, dude, the reason I'm even on this highway in the first place so he can cut me off is because I didn't get up early enough to take the back streets.
Maybe I'm still a caterpillar. Maybe I'm still a caterpillar because the devil is a lie. Oh, I'm still a caterpillar, Lord. I want to be a butterfly, but right now I'm just going to be a better caterpillar.
No, when you take on the responsibility of everything, I can't get mad at that guy. It's like, dang it, man.
But you can't internalize everyone else's mistakes to be your own, though. Like that's damaging and that's heavy and that's weighty.
It's not their mistake. It's my mistake.
It can't be though.
I'm telling you. When you understand that everything is your fault, when you take that position, what that forces you to do is start thinking more about what you're going to do differently next time. What you do is you take the power from everybody else to mess up your day. You take the power. What you're doing is you're taking the ability to blame others away. Right. And blaming others is a huge part of our problem. Everybody wants to point the finger at somebody else.
First of all, I don't even know why you went there today because you know this is going to get us all off topic. But I just got to say this. How about, right, in that same circumstance, because I think like you have great mind control, right? So you have control over being able to own something like that. If I'm a person that I don't have great mind control and I start taking stuff like that in, then everything becomes my fault and I become the I'm sorry person. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. However, I think that there for some people, there can be a healthy balance there where if you say, okay, that person, wife's in labor, whatever, the building's on fire, and that's what they had that they're late and they're trying to get somewhere. The empathetic part of me would say, okay, they cut me off. They got to get somewhere. They late. Yeah, they should have got up early. But you know what? They got something going on in their life that I might not know nothing about. I've been there. I've had things going on in my life. And I know that the things that have happened in my life might have affected somebody else. So I'm going to, there's your past. You know what? Right. Lord, whatever, and that's normally what I do if I catch myself on a butterfly day and not a caterpillar day. Tangent. Seriously, if I can catch myself, I will say, Lord, you know what? Bring that down. Whatever they're going through, Lord, bless them. Whatever they're rushing to or running from, Lord, I ask that you will cover them. And I begin to pray for that person. You know what I'm saying? Especially when ignorance has taken place. If is a key word because I ain't there all the way yet. Yeah. But if I can catch myself, I will do that because I think sometimes ingesting the blame, if you're not, again, you're healthy on the inside, you've worked long and hard to be able to build yourself up, to be able to hold that. Someone that is not quite where you are they'll ingest that. And it will, if I have low self-esteem, guess what? Ooh, I just went lower. You know what I'm saying? So I think finding a way to get it And if you can shoulder it. But if you can't, find a way to at least be empathetic and pass it off to the side. You don't have to carry it, and you don't have to give them control, as you said.
Yeah, but it's not me carrying it. It is, it's my fault. I'm taking responsibility, but I'm not taking accountability for their actions.
Okay.
See, that's a difference. See, the Apostle Paul says we are all gods, right? All of us are gods. So what does that mean when you look at it practically? That means I am in full control of creating my world. Just like God created the universe, I am creating my universe. If anything in my universe is out of place, including a joker who's cutting me off in traffic, that's my fault. I created this universe that I live in. Right.
Last challenge, and this will be a subject for another show. We work. That's just made the line. Now. You're welcome. She'll get some show ideas. I got one now. So what if, you said, I could have did this different and I wouldn't have ran into that joker. But what about when you run into another joker, when you did the different that you did to avoid the first joker? When you do that different, you run into somebody else on that different. You know what I'm saying?
That's my fault too, Michelle.
Okay, so then you say, I did something different again. And then you run into something.
It's all my fault. It's all listen, Michelle, it's all my fault. Watch this. Because listen, you know what, Cortez, you're so gifted and talented. You should have your own business where you wouldn't have to get out of bed in the first place and even be in traffic. It's I'm telling you, when you own that, wait a minute, this is 100% avoidable. And the only reason I'm in this situation now is because of some decisions that I did or did not make that led me to this particular point in time where I'm dealing with a joker in a hostile situation. We don't want to own our ish. We don't. Michelle, it's like, wait a minute. This joker ran in the club, shooting up the club and everything, man. I'm all scared. I'm all out of breath. Why are you in that club in the first place? You can actually be in a club where there is a very low probability that somebody's going to show up shooting. You're in the club that they was shooting in last week.
Those situations, I agree. Those situations, I think when those situations happen, I think there's some inevitable things.
Yeah,
man, I want you to just kick your own self because you did this to us today. Because this thing here, we got to unpack it. We gotta, whoo.
Yeah, but that's what I want people to get is that when it's clearly obvious, we can say, I shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Do you think it applies to everything? Everything.
Michelle, I learned from a mentor and I started applying this to my life based on, he said, Michelle, if I walk outside and get hit by a bus, I started saying, man, I shouldn't have walked outside today. He said, if I walk outside and it's raining outside, somehow it's my fault that it's raining, right? So when you embody and own, it's like, man, it really puts you in a space that, no, I have way more control than what most people would even imagine or believe, right?
True.
And what it does, it puts you in a different headspace perspective-wise. Like, I got a different perspective. Like, listen, I got to own the fact that my son right now is getting ready to go back to school this coming Friday, plays ball. They're talking about the team have to get vaccinated. Now, it's funny, my wife just pulled out his shot record. It's like, man, you ain't had a shot since 2008. Wow. He said he was 8 years old. When I realized that I had a lane to go down to medically exempt or religiously exempt my kids from vaccinations, we did it. So he hadn't had a shot since he was 8 years old. He's 20. Wow. Right? And now going back to school, talking vaccination, but because he plays ball, he's got a decision to make. They want the ball players to get vaccinated because close quarters, they're sweating on each other throughout the game, and then y'all got to shower in the same facility, and y'all got to go to different schools and different cities and states have different rules and regulations and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, hey, you either get the vaccine or you get a COVID test every single week. It costs you $65 a week.
Wow. Now, are you going to let him make the decision, or are you guys going to make that decision for him?
He makes the decision. He's a grown little man, right?
Okay.
But here's what I mean by taking responsibility. Daddy should be in position to say, my son ain't taking no damn vaccine. Take your little $65 time 9 months, 4 weeks a month, time 9 for 36. Take your little $65, man. Get on out my son's face with that stuff. But daddy ain't in position. Right. I gotta own the responsibility for not being in position to say, that's how y'all want to play it. Here's how I want to play it. My son ain't getting no doggone vaccine. So whatever tax you want to put on me for not getting him vaccinated, man.
Take that. You know what?
They give $65 every week.
They giving away. They giving away 10K. I'm sorry. That probably won't work right here. Okay, my bad. I was like, I know how you can get the money. Oh, that probably defeats the purpose. I'm sorry. I just saw the down the sides. I was trying to help.
Yeah. We done went down the wrong road. So let me do this real quick. Guys, number 6, create a safe environment. Number 7, after you speak, then listen. Number 8, avoid giving in just to keep peace. Number 9, let go of the past, which is a whole show in and of itself. Number 10, avoid making assumptions. Now, if you want to dive into any one of those, I just want to make sure that we did actually get them out on the show.
Boom. You know what? Avoid making assumptions. I just go to the last one. That is when we create the narrative. Right. And it's a dangerous place to be. We're going to do a show, and we're going to do a show/workshop on the subject that we just talked about, because I need you to give people practical steps so that people don't take it. I feel what you're saying, but people can take that and run the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? If they're not, you are such a strong person. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. You've come so far, you know what I'm saying, in such a short amount of time. Mentally, you're amazing. And if the person is not where you are, we don't want to jack nobody up. So we got to do a workshop where you can teach on that practically, because I do think it's going to be powerful. But create the narrative. I've done it on my own. Women, we often do it. We have the argument. We have the pre-fight in our mind before we get to the real fight, you know, and we will make up what you go say. I don't need you to talk because I already got your script for you. Here, this is what you say when we have this discussion. Avoid doing it, because it will totally mess up your flow of conversation. Yeah, you know, sometimes we try to be over prepared, and it doesn't work for us. So
yeah, makes me think of Kevin Hart said 3 words that a woman does not want to hear from a man when she is accusing him of cheating. Are you done?
Ooh,
are you done?
Am I done? I'm just getting started.
You are accusing him of something. You think you got him cold-blooded. Yeah, I saw a text message. I tracked his phone. I saw he was at this location. I know what that means. I'm finna hit him with, and he ain't gonna be. And when he's got a legit excuse this time, he hits you with, "Are you done? Are you done?" Now let me tell you the truth about what happens.
That's crazy. So, y'all do that too.
Be careful of the false accusation. Like, make sure you're Trump tight with your accusations, and there is no alibis and all of that kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
So hand on this shoulder. You know.
You got to be right there. And even when you put your hand on the shoulder, he's gonna say, "Man, that's a hologram. That wasn't me."
I know some jokers that would. Sadly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to get this actual document to download, print it out, make sure you join Michelle's group, Ladies. I'll put a link in the description and the show notes, and in the file section, you guys will be able to download this document that we're reading from to get those tips on becoming better at your communication. So till we talk to you guys next time, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it, but more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.